Hello and welcome to Poker News. The UK betting company Ladbrokes have recently lost an appeal court case in the Netherlands. This outcome means that the gaming company is not allowed to accept any bets from Dutch residents. This dispute has caused much anguish for the company, who have decided to push on with the fight and formally complain to the European Commission. This result was good for the Dutch government, who are currently enjoying a monopoly within the gaming industry by having only state-run businesses in operation. However, according to European law, the government states are not allowed to prevent other betting services reaching their residents if they themselves are offering gambling services. Strangely enough, many of these countries who are monopolising their gaming industry put forward the notion that such restrictions are for the benefit of their gambling-addicted citizens. Furthermore, this is not the only case of this nature occurring in Europe. According to the EU Commissioner Charlie McCreevy, 8 other countries have also had action against them for disallowing gaming companies to interfere with a profitable gaming monopoly.
The amount of contenders for the 2007 World Series is predicted to be 75% less than this year's. That is 2,200 players compared to the 8,773 players who played at the 2006 World Series. Information leaked from Harrods recently, stating that they will no longer be accepting players via satellites, which made up the bulk of this year's players, providing a record turnout which is unlikely to ever be beaten. Full Tilt have issued a letter to players based in the US who have won online qualifiers, saying that they will either have to accept the buy-in amount into their bank account or play in events such as Dublin or Canada. As yet, an official Harrods statement has not been made. Instead, they seem to have issued warnings to the largest sites explaining changes that will take place. Director of the World Series, Gary Thompson, stated, "While we're reviewing registration requirements, it is likely that we will accept third-party registrations from entities such as charitable and civic organisations. We most likely will not be accepting third-party registrations from other entities." There will be ways around this whereby sites will provide winners with World Series of Poker entry forms, which they will have to send off themselves, along with putting the buy-in into the winner's account.
In this week's Top 5, we're looking at the European Poker Tour all-time money list. At number 1 is Jeff Williams from the USA, who won the EPT Grand Final in Monte Carlo in March 2006, at the tender age of just 19. Williams was up against a field of nearly 300, including big names such as Joe Hatcham, Greg Raymer and Carlos Mortensen. However, it was Williams who pocketed a whopping £577,000. In second place is Vicky Corrin, who recently won the EPT at the Grosvenor Casino in London, when she went home with £500,000. Third place goes to Bjorn Erik Glenn of Norway, a former chess champion and a highly rated online player. Erik Glenn was victorious in the Barcelona Open in 2006, winning £463,000. In fourth position is Rob Hollink from the Netherlands, who won over £450,000 at the European Grand Final in Monte Carlo. He also came 30th at this year's 2006 Big Double in Austria, taking home £4,200. And finally, in fifth is American Brandon Schaefer, who has successes in 2 EPT events. Firstly, he won the French Open in Deauville in February 2005, picking up nearly £100,000, and in March 2005 he finished second at the Grand Final in Monte Carlo, earning him £248,000. It's predicted that due to the new gaming legislation in the US, the World Series 2007 will have substantially less American players. Does this mean there'll be an influx of European players at the next event?
I'm always tempted to travel to Vegas, but yeah, I don't think this number of players makes a difference. I think it's being there for the event and wanting to take part. I don't think it's got anything to do with the number of runners.
You don't go there for the number of people to play. You just go there because it's World Series. It's the experience.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm under 21, so I can't. But yeah, obviously that's the goal of every poker player, to end up one day, at the final table of the World Series.
I don't know, actually. I think probably they'll stay with Vegas.
And finally, here's some great news for all poker onliners. Poker 333, part of the Micro Gaming Software Network, have just enjoyed their billionth hand of poker. So while America's closing down operations, it's business as usual for the rest of us. That's all from me. I'll see you next time.